Hey guys, okay, it's Dave Bennett. It is June 5th, 2014. I want to go over the latest version of Theme2HTML real quick, just some points. I'm going to show you a bunch of templates people have created, then show you how you can actually save them. So we're now in the version 1.4, and the version 1.4 has got some updates, and one of the coolest ones, especially for those who don't know better, is just the coolness of being able to create your own themes. Now, let me explain that. First of all, let me just show you a bunch. Okay, so like this looks the same, right? I mean, obviously, it pretty much is just some color scheme changes to it. Not many other changes. Instead of saying open Monday to Friday or whatever, the guy's got the link to his corporate website. And there you go. Other than that, it looks quite familiar. Nothing unusual about it. The guy's got his own logo in there and just has the site the way he wants. Okay, but I'm just showing you. I think some of these designs, though, are really awesome. And as we go through this, you're going to start to see what I mean. Like, this is more of a network marketing thing or whatever, how to make some money online kind of thing. And there you go. And they put their own video in the left sidebar. So this isn't a YouTube video. This is like a Vimeo video, but that's okay. Okay, so let me just go ahead and get out of that. And so anyway, just to show you, yeah, you can create new items, new snippet codes or add-ons that you want to show up in your left menu. I just wanted to show you somebody had done that because you can. Okay, and then aside from that, no phone number. It just says click on the Facebook image and add me and hop on here. That's cool. So what else? This guy completely replaced the forum with the BBB logo. That's like an important feature the guy want to make sure people saw. So I think that's kind of a cool way to go about it. Now, it was just neat to see it done. And also, they make sure to have a lot of testimonials running down in the left sidebar. I hadn't thought about it, but nothing stops you from doing it. So this is a really cool way to go. Okay, so it can be done. For those of you just thinking about it, I'm going to point something out when I get to the end of this. Real quick, these guys are making money. They could never get off page two for their main keywords: Cedar Run Plumbing and Best Plumber in Harrisonburg, Virginia. But for instance, now when you look, Cedar Run Plumbing, they are number one. 217,000 results. They could never get off page two. For like 9 years they tried and they couldn't do it. And what about for this Best Plumber in Harrisonburg, Virginia kind of thing? You don't need the comma. But there they are. So they're right here. It's 1,508,000 results. They could not get off the second page. They were stuck on there. And then even for plumber in Harrisonburg, Virginia, they're showing up. Okay. Further down the page, you got to create some more content or whatever. But they are here. They are absolutely here. Okay. Just to show you. All right. Anyway, that's kind of interesting. So what else? Well, check this out. How many of you guys have thought about this when you're looking at a themed HTML site? Okay. This is different, isn't it? It can look quite different. And so anyway, there you go. That's not bad, is it? So there's one. Let me show you something completely. And they, instead of having a phone number, they got another link, kind of like corporate website. This one says why go soft and takes you to a page on the website that explains why you would do it. Okay, that's kind of cool. When it, wouldn't you say? And that's actually a different website. I'll get to that later. Check this out. Um, Country Car Shop, because I recognize that one. Country Car Shop, you may or may not see the texture in the background. It's not a flat background. A guy got a page texture and then had it repeat X and Y to fill out the whole page. And this looks pretty cool. I like this. It says schedule showing. That's kind of a smart way to go about it. Come take a test drive today. And it's got a phone number. You can call them or you can email them and schedule a time to come in and check something out. Isn't that neat? So for the guys who are more bold and willing to call, or the guys who want to just tentatively ask in an email, they've got what you need to touch base with you. And they got their video, and it's exactly about, hey, best car service this part of Iowa. Okay. So there you go. I mean, just a little of everything is here. Okay. So that's not bad. And they're still finishing, obviously. Or actually, you know what? Forgot to mention, it is a demo on the competitive company site. Now, some of the reason that this seems weird, someone just did this on the demo site to see if they could do it. It's kind of cool. Let me show you another one. This Donald site, let me refresh this and just show you. I think it's cool. I mean, this gives the feeling of not being a themed HTML site at all, but that's exactly what it is. It's a themed HTML site, okay? And the points are made. You can click to read more. You scroll down. Nothing unusual about it. It looks the way you would expect it to. May or may not be finished, but there it is. Hold on. I want to figure out that. All right. So yeah, it's just more stuff, YouTube video and everything else, links for different purposes, stuff in the left sidebar, just whatever you want. It's there, okay? Everything is very cool about it, and yet that's how different a theme to HTML template can look in the first place, right? Okay. Look at this. Testosterone. Call the phone number. This is bodybuilding site, obviously, telling you what you ought to get. And here it is. And there's things that you can look into here, particular products. You might be able to take them all together. Remember how we say you can use these blocks to actually just point out the main things you could do on your site? Well, this is cool because it does do that job and it does it right. And here you go, featured products. And then here's the Facebook. Here's an image, real customers testimonials, and they changed the picture up. And they got their testimonial print. Look at that. Again, long page testimonial print. Read more down here. This is very cool, right? Everything about this is pretty good. I like the way they did it. Okay. So they haven't even finished this off at the bottom yet. But again, it's just people working on these things and getting them up and seeing what they think. Yeah, look at this. Different website, right? Check that out. It's a mall. Okay. And again, I mean, this is just neat, wouldn't you say? It's all laid out right. And we got women's clothing store, men's clothing store, kids, and home essentials, a request form. Whatever it is that you want to do like that is a good thing. I always say leave this form in anyway. We'll probably always keep this form, even if we have different style options, or plug in your own autoresponder, plug in 2 more images, because we are going to do that, or plug in your own AdSense stream. That's coming. It's a free upgrade. But anyway, I'm just pointing out how different all these things can be. And just how neat that is that you can have all these different categories and have them point to whatever pages you want. I mean, all this can work just however you want. Let's see another one. Ah, look at this. This is a promotional apparel store. Put whatever you want, brand out onto your shirts and things, design your own shirts and so on. That's pretty cool. I like the way they do that, right? Visit the gear store here, and so on and so forth. That's just really well done. They got their Facebook here. Well, by now I'm making jokes that George here, man, he's a big time shopper. He tries everything by everybody and tells you who he likes the best. But whatever. I mean, the point is that's a placeholder image, and you can put whatever you want in there. And some guys have been doing that, right? Like what we saw on the testosterone site, right? There, that's the replacement image. Okay. On something else, you'd see a different replacement image. Anyway. Let me see, pressure washing services, just different thing to pitch. They got all their featured services very clearly laid out. Hi, George. And you've got all your different carpet cleaning options down here, and he could put in more images. You could do one more, and then you can use these buttons to scroll back and forth. All right, what do we got? Best SEO, some guy working on that. That's cool. He's still getting it together, figuring out what he wants to say. Let me see. And then somebody just saying, hey, your logo could go here, da 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 da. And again, you know what I think? I think background images matter more. The only reason you might not put it is when you're showing samples with some background images, but you want their brain to kind of be able to see the contents instead of showing someone else's background image. But me, I would apply some kind of an image. That would be me, and that's easy enough to do, right? By now, you can easily apply background images. It's so easy to do in Theme2HTML, just to fill in the blocks, and there you have it. Okay. Now, here's the point. How do these guys make all of these entirely different sites, the way we're seeing all these different sites, and yet they're not losing the default template, so they're just happily moving back and forth through all these sites? I could have done all these sites on my one Theme2HTML panel and uploaded them to all these different websites for all these different guys. But then if one of these guys comes back later and goes, hey, Dave, can you do something else for me in here? Or this guy comes back, hey, Dave, can you put another category up? I don't want to have to recreate all this work. I just want to have it. I want to have a copy, and I want to be able to change them out anytime I want. So you think we have to add more themes, right? Almost. Let me show you how it works. Okay, so here we go. And you log in the backend. Okay, and like I said, we're on the version 1.4. So if you log in, we just released it. So if you log in, you'll probably see the 1.4 is available. Download it here. Just click the link and hold your breath. About 2 seconds later, it's installed and functioning. just like the 1.3 was, just like the 1.2. Upgrades are a snap now. Absolutely easy. So check this out. Here we go. Themes, right? You guys are familiar with the 4 default themes that we've used since the beginning. Plumber theme and so on and so forth, right? So if I go here and flip it, I got that, right? If I go here and flip it, then I get whatever was there, right? Watch, and this is what I mean. So these are like the defaults that you're thinking of, but then the question is, how can you add more? And the answer is we're not quite here yet, can't quite do it, but we're almost there. We are going to make it so you can just add themes whenever you want, call them whatever you want, and you can just select from as many as you want. Yes, it's a free upgrade. It'll probably be part of the version 1.5, but we have some other really exciting options coming out as well. One of them, like I've mentioned this before, every page that is enabled, because of different things you might want to be doing. You may want to be able to run a spin rewriter API and have it paste in a different variation of this page just all of a sudden. So use a unique variation and place it in the content area. And so it's like that would be the choice I might want. And so if I do that, it will actually do that. It will go and create a spin rewritten variation and put it in there. What's that mean? That means that whenever you go, take a look at that really, and I can go fix all this. You know, if it comes out like too big, I can make this normal again. That's easy. I can go deal with all this. This is small stuff, but it's a piece of cake, and I could save it. And when I do, it's a different version. So if I'm doing different websites for different people, I can literally pull that kind of a thing off, right? So just so you know, this is very, very easy. Now, here's the question. If we can't just put new themes in now, how can you deal with themes, ups and downs? Let me show you. Dashboard. There's something called backup and restore that we added a little while ago, but I haven't done a video for it, so I'm going to do it now. Because like I said, some people get it, other people don't. All right. It doesn't matter which theme I'm on right now. I am on the real estate theme right now. If I go and change a bunch of things around, I go change some of the content on the pages, I spin rewrite some of it. If I change the background colors and other things as well, if I change all those things, right, then I might want to save the version I just made. How do you do that? You hit a create backup button. It doesn't matter which theme you're in. I'm in real estate. So if I just got done working in real estate, I will hit that create backup and it's going to create a version of this theme. Okay, so no matter what I change, if I change the logo, the colors, the print, if I resorted the banners, everything all throughout this entire thing, I am saving a snapshot of all of it, everything. Okay, now, let's say I go and do some more changes. All right, that's saved a backup. It's like for safety's sake, right? So let's say I, save your work every once in a while. And yes, I can create one of the other backups right now. Even though I'm not on that theme, I can do it and it will save it and it's completely okay that I do it. I can sit way back here and do it and it's completely okay. But here's the point. Let's say I want to restore a backup. When would you restore? It would be like this. You use this like an autosave feature. So you saved your work. You're content with your work so far. Now you go back and you keep changing things around. You start changing who knows what else. And then you think, oops, I'm really going in a bad direction this way. This is the wrong thing, or I've been doing this in the wrong place, or whatever. I don't know. And you say, well, heck, I want to go back to where my last good copy was. That's what this is for. So I'm here, real estate, restore backup, and it will restore the last copy that I saved by hitting create backup for this thing. Okay, so this creates a snapshot that instantly becomes available here on restore. What do you think download backup is for? Well, that's to download it, right? And so whatever the version is, maybe I did this for Bob's real estate program. Well, I can rename it and call it something like that, Bob RE, and that's good. Now I know what that is. And so no matter what I do with my real estate theme now, no matter how many things I change on here, anytime I want to do this Bob, I can save the work again for whatever I do. Say I made a bunch of changes, right? Let me get back there. And so I can do it again. I can go here and hit a create backup for the latest changes I made, and I can download it, give it another name. Ann's real estate, so maybe this is somebody else. Rename Ann-real estate, right? Now, I can work on either one of those guys I want. How do I do that? That's what these two buttons up at the top are for. I can choose a file and then upload it. So let me do it. Let me choose. And if I took one from that I just created, like Bob, okay, I can upload it. And there you go. It's saying theme real estate backup is restored. Okay, so then I'd find I'm on that real estate backups, if that's the one I'm on, right? Now, what do I want to say beyond that? T2H.com. Oh, that's right. That's different. T2H.find. Yeah. Okay. So that would be whatever one I just uploaded, Bob or Ann or whoever it was, right? And then if I think, okay, I want to go do the other one, I can just do it, right? Backup and restore. Now, by the way, it doesn't matter, again, which theme I'm on. Let's say I'm on a whole different theme here. Let's say I'm on the plumber theme. I can still back up and restore. I can still pull anyone in from anywhere. I can do Ann's real estate right now, and it will call it the real estate theme, and that is now the real estate workstation, if you will. So even though I'm on the Florida or I'm on the plumber theme right now, okay, I can certainly go and switch to the real estate theme, and that would be the current one. So it's like Ann's real estate theme, right? Now, here's the real cool power of all this. How many of these downloads do you think you're allowed? Unlimited copies, right? So you can do one for Bob, one for Ann, one for whatever. Do they have to follow the theme at all? Nope. These are now no longer themes. They used to be themes. Now they're just workstations, if you will. They have slightly different properties. The plumber property, for instance, uses these transparent GIF cutouts. And so you would use the plumber theme if you want to use a transparent GIF cutout idea because it just looks best in here. Now, if you say, and I don't think that on the plumber scene, let me go theme and colors. I don't think you can change. Yeah, you cannot change the color of this scheduled service box. Okay, you cannot. Not directly. I mean, you can. You'd have to export the site and then change the color code for the box. Or you'd have to do it literally in the hard-coded files until we give that choice to you on the plumber theme, but we haven't yet. Most people actually have not cared, believe it or not, because it's not affecting anything for them. They like that red box. However, for the other themes, we have made those choices, right? So like, let me go here. Homeopathy has the biggest stack because it's the most new. So for instance, if I go to website theme and colors now, we have background. You can choose not just the background color and be as exact as you want. You can choose a background image and you can center it horizontally or send it to the left or the right of the page. Okay, so it could be to the left, the middle, or the right. And vertically, it could be at the top or the bottom or the middle. So you can have your image at the top, in the middle, or at the bottom, on the left or in the center or on the right. Any of those combinations, right? It's already 9 different combinations. But you can choose whether you want the image to repeat. Like this is just a header segment, so it shouldn't. It should just go center at the top and show up across the top and not repeat. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, yeah, it's these leaves, so we don't want it to repeat, right? But in the case of that country car shop, right? Like if I did that, demo 6 dot competitive, all right, companies.com, just to show you. Okay. The guy's original image probably looks something like this. Let me just show you. Not that I had to have. It could have been as big as the page, but it may have just been a little square like that. So if that was all, the bigger it was, just a well laid out square and it was cut off symmetrically and everything looked right about it. Okay. Then how would he do it? When he uses it for the background, he would choose that image instead. And if he doesn't have it, like there's some silly background folders and stuff, right? I've got different background gradients and things too you can apply. But if he didn't have it, then he could just upload it and take a look. Like for example, one of these tiny patterns is just a tiny pattern, right? So it would look like that, or like that, or like that, and it would be top or bottom or middle, right? Whoops, sorry. Okay, but watch this. Let's go top again. Center top. And I could go left, it doesn't matter, but I could either repeat horizontally or I could repeat vertically. So I can put this on the left or the right, however I want, okay? Just so you can see the options. But I could also go both, repeat. That means repeat horizontally and vertically. And then you get the whole page, right? So if I were to save that, update and reload, okay? I mean, that wouldn't make a lot of sense, but still, not for this theme, but still, that's the point. You can change anything you want. Let me just try another pattern real quick for the fun of it. Let me just try some completely different weird pattern. I mean, I just grabbed a couple real fast just to show you you can do it. Now that just looks bizarre. Now you see the edges are too rough for the repeat mechanism. We can't do that. But what about a simple gradient? Okay, like we could do that maybe. How about that? And maybe no repeat. Let's just see how it looks. Oh, that might be right. Let's see. Update and reload. Point is, okay, I would have to. Let's just go watch this. I'm going to repeat it horizontally. Okay, watch. You'll see where I'm going in a second. Now, I'm going to use a color picker to figure out the page background to match the bottom of this thing, right? Like where the gradient comes to an end. I mean, just if you've never seen this done, it's cool. 73, 73, 73. Simple color. Watch this. Website page background color. 73, 73, 73. That's got to be it. Update and reload. Wow. How's that? See, so you can make all these kinds of choices you want that make any sense for the purpose, right? Because you can keep doing all the other colors, right? You guys know that. You can adjust all the colors on the site. Why you wouldn't have a blue like that anymore. You'd have some gray or black, right? So the website main color would be more like a black, right? Something really dark, right? Update and reload, okay? Let's see. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And then, of course, you wouldn't want this funny yellow, so you change that color. And probably, and that would be the form, you'd probably make it the same as, the website main color. Update and reload. Okay. So just to show you, you can make these changes quick, and this is what people are doing. They're changing the images and the banner sliders, the header line, the description, the link. It's very simple to do that, right? You just go into each of these and you change them. So you say, what is the title? What is the description part? What's the text of the link? And which page does the link go to? And what image do you want to use? And update it. And so that's how people are doing this for motorcycles and cars for sale. That's how they're doing it for dentists and doctors and Indian chiefs. That's how they're doing it for clean power wash your driveways. They're just adjusting these things in the banner slider here. That's pretty easy, right? Let me just show you some that are done really, really fast. First of all, let's say I don't like that one. Let me go back. I am on the homeopathy site. I made all these weird changes to my homeopathy site. Yeah, I don't want to save it maybe. I could, right? By the way, lest anyone forgets, website theme and colors, you can load styles that you chose to save. Do you get it? You can load it, update and reload, and get over to it just like that. Okay? So you can save styles that are best for different purposes. Okay? So just whatever you think works, it's up to you. And it'll work. It'll save everything on that page, all the print settings for the print height, whether it's italicized or not, whether this is black or dark green, whether these, are just whatever it was for the settings you wanted, right? Page background and everything else. So, I don't even know what's here anymore. Bob, I called that. I don't know, whatever. It was just making the point, right? Look at that. Look at how different that is, okay? Because I saved the theme. How do you save a theme? Well, after you make all the changes you're going to make to everything, you change this, you change that, you change that, you change that, you get all changed. You come down and change the prints that you want to use, the fonts, the colors for them. Just figure it all out, get it the way you want. When you get it all done, hit Save Style and give it some name, and real estate, right? Or anything that makes sense to you, then update and reload, you see? Now, what if I just straight say, I don't want this, right? And I just want to get back to where I was anyway. Well, I did save the theme. It's saved, so I can come back to it later if I want. I can show somebody different samples from good savings, right? I can just have them see this page and refresh and say, now hit refresh on your end, and they'll keep seeing the new updates every time every time they hit the refresh button, because that's what you're showing them. That's if you want to show stuff to other people. Watch this homeopathy. Let me restore the backup, okay? Because I never did create another backup. So the last one in memory is the one it has, and that's the original, right? It should look like the original, okay? Ain't that cool? Now, watch this. How fast can I make huge changes? Watch this. Back up. Let me just bring some of these on. Go to projects. Watch this. I'm going to pull in 3 real quick. Upload. What's it saying? Theme homeopathy backup is restored. Great. Am I on the homeopathy theme? If not, I will switch to the homeopathy theme. I am. So let me see what that looks like, just to show you the differences. This one I knew about, right? So there you go. There's one. Let me do another one. Now I can't install the new theme because it's going to say it's not in the right format, because remember I told you this isn't for themes yet. Themes use those files plus all the images. Right now those files cannot hold the images, and it's really clear that that's true because they're tiny files, right? They hold all the information for everything throughout the site, all the print, all the settings, all the verbiage, all the pages, which pages are enabled and disabled, like pages that are enabled and disabled, and what the sorting order is. They save all of that stuff, right? But what they don't save, okay, and I can make versions and save them right away, but what they cannot save are the actual images. So when we get to creating themes to import, it will be that T2H file plus all the images. Right now, though, if you create the T2H file and you have a separate folder with all the images, you can give it to anyone and they can reduplicate your work. How's that? And so you can send someone a theme, or if you sold a whole panel to a client, you can just install their new themes, go to backup and restore, choose the file, maybe it's that one, upload, and then just import the images, which is easy. You can do that on FTP into the related folders. Now, I even have one thing to show you there. So let's do this. I'm going to go to the landscape because that's what I just did. Like I said, they're workstations now. Don't really believe the names. They're whatever you want them to be. No, those are just the original names because it started off being themes. Now they're full out workstations. Okay. And if I wanted to, back up and restore, choose another file, and that, and that. So what's the point? That's real estate. So let me go over to the themes and flip to real estate. I'm just doing this so you get used to it and understand, right? Now if I look, what do I see? Look at that. How's that for awesome? You get it? By the way, the whole cities we serve, you don't have to put cities in there, and you can take this out. You can take it out on the file. It's really easy. I'll show you if you ask me. I mean, there's a really simple to figure out how to do this. I forget exactly which file. I'll go look it up. But this stuff is simple to take out. Besides, when you export it, you can get rid of it anyway. What's the coolest thing? After I do a site like that, I can just export it, Export to HTML, whatever. Allow indexing. Don't need absolute paths in this case. Archive name is Watersoft now, and I can just call it .zip and I can export it. And that's the entire website, complete with all the images. So I can send it to the destination website wherever I really want this thing to go. Create your backups, restore your backups. They're all just T2H files. And when you download the whole thing as a zip file, when you export it, then you get all the images as well. And you can send it to anyone. They can put it on their website and it works, right? If they don't know how to put it on their website, tell them to have their webmaster do it. Somebody knows, There's always somebody who knows. Or you're just uploading it on their website using FTP, or you're uploading it on your website so that they don't have to get a website and you're just going to run it from yours, which is great, especially if you rent space out, right? So anyway, there you go. That just gives you some cool ideas for how to do things. And by the way, when you export the full website, it exports a copy of that T2H file too. So if you ever wonder where did the guy have that, because maybe comes back in a year and says, hey, can you create some new pages for me? And you're like, yeah, sure. But then you're thinking, where did I put his file? Right? Where did I put his T to H file like these? The answer is it is in the files you uploaded to his website. So it's there. It's there somewhere in the room. And you can go get it off of his website if you need to, right? It's there. Oh, yeah. Let me come back in. I was thinking about coming back in. There's one last thing I want to show you for organization too, especially. You might be exporting projects, right? You're going to either upload them to the guy's website or not. And it will include the T to H file as a backup of that exported version, which is cool. It's a backup of the exported version. You can always import it and backup and restore. Read the print, because it's cool to read the print and see what it does. Here's my point though. I thought about this at one point. It took me a while to think about it, but then it dawned on me, well, why don't we do this? So often when we have images that we want to use for one project or another project, let me just kind of go to a page that makes sense, I guess. All right, and so we have this, and we want to use an image or images all on the site. We're thinking, well, what do we do with all of these images? Like maybe even the logo, right? Okay. Then you say, what should I do for any one client? Watch this. I never thought about it until I thought about it. When you're on a folder like this, okay, you can right click and hit new subfolder. And guess what? The new subfolder can be Bob's Real Estate, right? Bob RE, Bob Real Estate. And guess what that means? Now I have a Bob Real Estate folder. So when I go uploading files for Bob, or I'll move the files in Bob, I'll download them, then upload them again. I'll find Bob's images, whatever they are. And whenever I go putting them in, I don't even know what that is. But I'm going to keep it in the Bob Real Estate folder, and I'm going to keep all of his other specific images in that one folder. That way, when I go extracting and sending this thing, or if I go giving this T to H and the folder to somebody, I can give them just the right folder with all the right images to upload to the website, and suddenly everything connects without having to upload images one at a time from a list that you send someone. You just put the whole folder on the website with the same name, and all of a sudden, all those images will work, right? Any images that were new. So yeah, you could just go creating new folders for new clients. You can upload the different files for this guy, if you had files for that. And I don't know what I have, just different things. But there you go. Oh, I don't know. Just different things. So yeah, there you go. So you could keep your folders for one client separate from your folder, or images for one client separate from your images for other clients. And you can even put their backgrounds in here. I wonder if you can do this too. Acme Waters, and I stick, aha, I could put background, and that could go for Acme Waters. Now, it might be a little more complex than I want, but I could do it, right? Especially if I'm trying to be crystal clear, right? Background, and I'm trying to be professional. And I want to say this is Bob Real Estate, all of his images, plus any images that go in the background. I wonder how that'll look once I put in there, Battery hierarchy, fixed 2, see power response. Yeah, fixed 2. I don't know what that is either. There we go. So Bob Real Estate, and his background is whatever his background is. Obviously not that. I can delete that. All right, so I can delete that too. So you can get in and you can get out. Ain't that cool? Delete that too. And that's just nifty, right? Delete. Wow. All right, there you go. Now you know a lot more of what's going on and organizing it and creating themes. You can make themes to give people, make themes to trade people, make themes to sell. You can come out with new left sidebar plugins, right? You can add a new one. It'll actually be your own code that points at your own, who knows, Vimeo video instead of some other video, YouTube or Facebook or anything else. You can do anything you want, right? So yeah, Theme2HTML is just getting extremely cool. All right, I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll keep putting out new videos over new features as we go. All right, take care.